Good morning, Lodwin. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning, Milan.
Very good morning, Sam. Good morning, Lodwin and Nick. Are you able to hear me? Yeah, okay, great. So, yesterday I think you had issue with the how to enable the different network communication, right? So when I check, the issue is so within your end devices, actually, I will show that, right? What's the issue, right? It's not your configuration issue, it's the issue with the end devices. One moment. Uh,
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. One moment.
Could it be that the routers didn't have the gateway
So
address?
yeah, the thing is, these are the routers, right? When I check these routers, what I found was, right, if you run the command show, so in here, uh, show IP interface brief, right? So then your IP is 20001. Then when I run the command show running config, right? Actually, we with the default configuration we entered default route, but the thing is, one moment. Now that default route not there, right? See, there are a different default route, right? So what you need to do, you need to remove this, right?
I thought
Then
about
like,
it last.
yeah, so you need to delete the unwanted IP route statement and add the correct IP route statement with your gateway IP. Then it will work. Please try. This is your same lab. Then finally you will be able to communicate. So I think this is the R1. When I go to the R1, that is show IP interface brief. That is 20. Okay. Then this is R2. I need to relog in. It is fine. R2. I need R2. So show IP interface brief. So in here, there's IP called 55 like that. You can change those things, then it will work, right, without any issues. I think you can see the yesterday settings. One moment. I will recheck. Admin and KSPL at PC at 1234. We'll check whether domain and the settings are available properly. Yeah, tenants available. Yes, everything available, right? So what you need to try is this one. What you need to try is with the same setup. Spine 201 and the leaf 101 and the leaf 102. So in here, this is your endpoint. Endpoint 1, then endpoint 2. So some of your endpoint connect with the port number 12, 23 and the 40 according to your settings. 12, 23 and the 40, right? So you need to put EPG1, this one to the EPG1, this one to the EPG2, right? So change the IP. Let's say this IP is 20001. Then this can be 21001 with a different network, right? So in here, under the bridge domain, create two subnet 20.0.0.254 and 21.0.0.254, like that. Create two bridge domain subnet. So those are become the gateway, right? These are the gateway for these two. Then so actually in the real environment, this endpoint is PC, right? But in here it is router. Since it is router, we need to add, right, IP route, right? We need to add IP route 0000 again 0000, the redirect that to the gateway 20.0.0.254, like that. That means for the EP endpoint 2, you need to add statement IP route any network into the 21.0.0.254, like that. If you can see any other route, please remove that, right? That means if you can see any other default route, please delete that and use only your required default route, right? Default route mean we are configuring gateway for the device, right? That's the idea. So actually with the initial setup with the given IP, we already configured those IPs, right? That mean the default route, but I think previous batch student change those things. That's why. Can you try this now? Hello.
Already doing.
So with the same setup, you can use that you used the yesterday. I think no need to do any policy configuration, nothing. Only the endpoint you need to change based on that at the bridge domain. Under the bridge domain at subnet. So that's the issue. That's why yesterday you unable to ping right after the contract, right? With a different
I've
network.
worked on mine and it's working now.
Okay, okay, great. Nick?
No, I didn't think about it, but I thought about it in the night, but I didn't have time to look at it. So now I have a back-to-back thing.
Lodwin, can you share the screen and then I can check?
Sure. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Still, yeah, now it's loading. So this is your route 8, right?
So on router 7, initially I had this default route here. It was even pointing
Yeah,
to
you
wrong
delete
IP.
that, okay. Then you add for the
I did this and
45.254.
this. Yeah, so now I can use this. I can do SSH as you can see from router 8 and hop to 7. So it's fine.
So what is the IP of this R7 IP address?
R7, I've changed my original IP block was 40, so I changed R7 to 45.
Okay. Now now you can ping, right?
Yes, I can ping. I can do SSL.
Okay. Fine.
So I
Yeah, that is
configured this.
45. Okay, 45.
So
Then you
I
had
changed.
default route for the 45254, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now from here you can ping to the 40,
R8.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. I
Please
can do
try that.
SSL.
Yeah, from R7 try to ping to the R8 IP.
This one.
Yeah, that is fine. That's fine. That is the layer 3 connectivity, right? Okay.
Yes.
Right. Nick and this Sam, can you try with your end?
Yes, I'm making the changes.
Okay. Try to do that quickly. Then I can go to the new part.
I'm still having a problem.
Okay, Sam, can you
My
share the screen?
my
Okay.
endpoints are still picking from the same
Okay.
subnet.
Can you share the screen?
Yeah, I'm doing that right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So your endpoint are 50 and what is the other one? EPG one?
Is 001.
Yeah, go to the EPG1 and click the operation. What I ask is, so put the endpoint into two different subnet, right? So within the same subnet, it's not a issue. That means no need to do anything with the EPG level, right? Go to the router and change the IP of the interface fast Ethernet 0/1 or gig 0/1. Let's say that is into the 51 one device.
Okay.
Then it will be fine. Within the same network, the pinging should be sub. Yeah.
Okay.
For that interface, assign the 51002 like that. Interface fast Ethernet 0/1. You use the 55. Okay.
Yes, I use 55.
Okay. So that's why I asked. I have created 55 with the different settings. Use the another one, 56 like that.
I see 56 is also already there. Maybe 60.
Then use the.
Can I use 60?
Use the 51. No one using the 51, I think.
Oh yeah, 51 is not there. Okay.
Okay, you need to do another thing, right? Go to the bridge domain, networking tab.
Okay.
Networking tab, bridge domain. The first one. Okay. Under that, click the bridge domain. Okay, subnet. Click that. Expand that. Okay. You created two. Right. Yeah. Subnets are fine. Okay. Now
So
go to the
I need
R2
to.
again.
I need
Yeah.
to. This is R2. I need to remove this and put 51.
Yeah. You need to remove it and put 51.
Yes. And then
Okay.
I'd also
Then
created
fine.
this.
So what is the 50? That's fine. It is the EPG2 subnet. The integration is fine, right? So
Yeah.
now you need to go to the endpoint. Go to the router 2 again. Endpoint again.
Okay.
Okay, run the command show running config. Show run. Spacebar.
Okay.
Spacebar.
So the IP. I need to change this.
Yeah. So you need to remove those two first, right? With the no command. 50 and the 55 one. Then add the new one for the 51 only.
Okay.
Actually, those students not deleted, so that's why because basically we are adding that route the all the end devices this time, and I'm not check those things.
Okay.
Okay. Now try to ping to the gateway.
Okay.
So at the same time, check the R3 also, whether it's having any other routes.
Okay.
That's fine.
I can reach the gateway.
That's correct, right? That's correct.
This one is okay.
Okay. Now you can ping to the 51002 directly.
Yeah, I can reach it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you can see two different network communication is fine, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yesterday it's not working. That's because of that wrong default route within the device, right? End device.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Otherwise, it is fine. Okay, Sam, okay. Lordwin, okay.
This is
Then
slick.
Nick. Yeah. Then Nick, what about you? Nick, are you succeed with that? Okay, fine. No problem. Nick, please update me when you're finished, then I can start. Okay, that means you can ping, right? Okay, great, fine. So now, the first part of today, it's about the packet forwarding options within the ACI fabric, right? So actually, so in here, all the packet forwarding options, remember, all the packet forwarding options available under the bridge domain configuration, right? Bridge domain configuration only. So in here, so to see this configuration, first you need to go to the select the bridge domain. When you select the bridge domain, right, then you need to go to the policy tab. Then when you go to the policy tab, it's showing the general forwarding option, right? Forwarding configuration, right? The default configuration. Then, so these things, right? These things you can see. This is another side, right? This is another side. So these things you can see. In that case, you can see how ACI Fabric handle unknown unicast, right? So let's say this is your leaf 101. So leaf 101 having endpoint table. So let's say you receive the traffic that destination MAC address, right? So the idea is layer 2 mean what? MAC address. Layer 2 mean what? MAC address. If you receive any unknown MAC address as the destination, what happened, right? We can do two things, right? The default mode is hardware proxy. The hardware proxy mode mean if you receive any unknown destination, your leaf can forward that packet to the spine, right? Send to spine, right? Send to spine. That's mode, right? Then flood mean it's saying, okay, you know, with the traditional switches, how it's working, right? When it receive any unknown destination MAC address, it's going to flood. It's going to flood. Same option available here. That means if you receive any unknown traffic, unknown layer 2 MAC address as the destination, what you can do is you can flood within BD, within bridge domain, right? Within bridge domain. Flood within bridge domain or the send to the spine. These are the two options, right? Related to the unknown unicast, right? So for the multicast, only option is the flooding. Then there is a optimized flooding option. So those things discussed with the DCACI A course, right? Advanced packet forwarding method. So then there is another default option. What happened for the ARP, right? By default, all the ARP going to flood, right? ARP flooding is happening, right? By default. Then when you go to the layer 3 configuration, right? When you click this button, layer 3 configuration. So this general tab showing layer 2 config, right? That mean unknown, layer 2 unknown unicast, right? Like that. That's a major settings, right? Then in here, when you go to the layer 3 settings, right? Then you can see the option called unicast routing. Unicast routing, right? So unicast routing by default enable, right? When the unicast routing enable, what happen? Leaf, not the leaf, right? We can say ACI, right? ACI will learn IP, right? That mean, can you remember when I not configured the subnet, if I not configured any subnet, when you go to the endpoint table, right? When you go to the endpoint table, you can see only the MAC address, right? But the thing is, after you create the subnet, when you enable the unicast routing, then your fabric going to learn about the IP also. Not only MAC, it's going to learn the IP. So the idea is, if you need to learn the IP address, what I need to do, definitely I need to enable the unicast routing, right? But the thing is, to work the unicast routing, you know, you need to create the subnet. Those subnet work as the gateway device. Those subnet work as the gateway device. So yesterday I mentioned in here, I'm creating two subnets, right? Then let's say if you are having three leaf 1, leaf 2, leaf 3, all the leaf 3 having these two subnet, same IP address. So any client within the leaf 1 that related to the specific EPG, then that can connect with the same EPG gateway IP. That means same IP replicated, right? Duplicated within many devices. So this concept we called anycast gateway. In here we are saying pervasive gateway, right? Anycast gateway or the pervasive gateway concept, right? Now, so in here, another example, right? So when the ARP flooding is on, remember that's the default option, right? This is the default option, right? Always flood ARP requests within the same bridge domain. That means, let's say within the VRF, we can create many bridge domain. In here, bridge domain 1 and bridge domain 2. So let's say when endpoint A need to make the ARP request, right? The default option, it's going to flood within the all the devices connected within the same bridge domain, right? In here, so the idea is endpoint 1, endpoint A be connected with the leaf A, endpoint CD connected with the leaf B. That can be. That means within the bridge domain, it's flooding the traffic, ARP traffic, right? Then what happen if you switch off this option? The thing is, when you switch off the ARP flooding option, so what happened? Then it cannot be flood. What should happen? Okay, when endpoint A generate the ARP, first it received by the leaf, right? So you know this is this is the logical diagram. This is the logical diagram. So this is leaf 101. So this is the endpoint A. So actually the traffic first reached the leaf 101. When the traffic reach the leaf 101, it's observed, okay, this is ARP traffic. Then it check what is the BD configuration, right? BD configuration. BD configuration say ARP flooding is off, right? Then how can handle the traffic? I'm sharing that traffic with the spine, right? That means it's going to send that ARP request to the spine. Because spine know everything. Why I'm saying spine know everything? Can you remember? There is a protocol called COOP. Very first day we learned. So that protocol called COOP, the task is sharing endpoint, IP, MAC, port number, those information with the leaf. That means leaf with the spine, right? Spine know everything. That means with the ARP flooding mode off, what happened? Your leaf going to hand over that traffic to the spine. So these are the two options. That is we call spine proxy, right? Then the next option, see, right? So layer 2 unknown unicast, right? Layer 2 unknown unicast. We discuss two modes available, right? So when the leaf receive any unknown destination MAC address, right? So if the mode is flooding, it's going to flood within the bridge domain. If the mode is hardware proxy, then it's going to hand over that to the spine. This is the thing that we discussed, right? We can configure layer 2 unknown unicast into the flood or the hardware proxy. The default mode is hardware proxy mode, right? Default mode is hardware proxy mode. So I will share this presentation with you, right? Then this is the spine proxy summary, right? So the first thing, then let's say this is your leaf, right? This is your leaf. Leaf receive packet. It's checking whether it is layer 2 or the layer 3 packet, right? Layer 2 packet mean it having only MAC information. Layer 3 packet mean it's having MAC and IP. Then it's going to make forwarding decision based on the IP, right? But if the leaf receive packet that only having the MAC address information, then it is layer 2 traffic, right? Then it's check whether my leaf know the destination MAC. Okay, no, yes, there are two answers, right? Uh, leaf can know, or leaf know that, right? Leaf don't know that, leaf know that, right? That destination MAC. If leaf know the MAC address, then no problem, we can forward to the specific port, right? That specific port can be within the same switch or the different leaf, right? Then if the leaf haven't any idea, that mean, right? That mean, so let's say this is your leaf 101. So leaf 101 receive packet, right? So leaf 101 table include the MAC address AABB, right? Those two MAC address known by the leaf 101. But in this packet, destination MAC address is CC. Now this CC information not available with the leaf, right? Don't know, right? Then what we can do, it's going to the bridge domain and check what is the BD configuration, whether it is flood or the hardware proxy. If it is flood, then flood within the BD. If it is hardware proxy, not going to flood, hand over that to the hardware proxy, that means the spine, giving that traffic to the spine, right? So same thing happened with the layer 3 traffic. So this is the way how packet forwarding happening, right? So can learn that with this diagram, right? So this is the fabric, ACI fabric with the 2 spine and the 3 leaf. You know, every device having TEP IP, right? TEP IP. And other thing, right? All the spine use one TEP IP, that is we called anycast TEP, anycast TEP, right? There is another TEP IP that we called anycast TEP. So that is related to the all the spine, right? So let's say this is the normal packet. This is the way how normal packet forwarding happen, right? So I mentioned, right? I mentioned ACI use VXLAN as the data plane, right? So endpoint 1 within the EPG1, right? See the things, right? This is the logical way. Endpoint 1 within the EPG1 that is related to the bridge domain 1 and the VRF1, right? It's generate traffic, normal traffic. So this is the traffic. That traffic having layer 2 header, layer 3 header. This is the normal Ethernet packet, right? Ethernet packet. When it's come to the TEP, TEP mean what? Your leaf, right? So it's observe, okay, my destination MAC is this one, let's say CC, right? Then it check the table within the leaf 101, right? Then in that case, it's observe, I know this MAC address, I know this MAC address, that guy available with the leaf 2. This is leaf 2, right? So my table saying that CC MAC available within the leaf 2, right? So what should be my decision? What should be my decision? So my decision should be, okay, now I need to hand over that traffic to the leaf 2. So I need to use the VXLAN tunnel in between me and the TEP2, right? So this is the VXLAN header information. In that case, it map, let's say this traffic coming from VLAN 10, then VLAN 10 going to map with the one of the VXLAN number 1010. So this tunnel VXLAN number is 1010. That so this is the VLAN number map into the VXLAN number, right? So it's forward traffic to the specific TEP, right? Then that TEP can forward traffic to the specific endpoint. So this is the way how communication happen within the ACI fabric, right? So here for the packet forwarding, we will discuss 4 scenario, right? For the packet forwarding in the ACI, we are going to discuss 4 type of scenario, right? Scenario number 1, right? Let's say you are the leaf, right? What you need to think always, you are the leaf, you are connected with the spine and you are connected with the endpoint, right? So from that endpoint, you are receiving traffic. Now I am the leaf, right? So there can be 4 scenarios, right? The scenario number 1, right? I know the destination. That means leaf 101 know the destination. That's fine, right? Then the second scenario, yeah, right. The first scenario saying, okay, I know the destination, then I know destination within same leaf. That means this guy need to communicate with another guy. He is also connected with same switch. That means endpoint 1 and 2 within the same leaf, right? That is one scenario. The second scenario is, right, I know the MAC address, I know the destination, but that destination with the different step. Different step mean different leaf number. We need to consider that, right? Then the third option, right? Third scenario is source leaf does not know the destination. If the source does not know the destination, there are 2 options. One is spine proxy, that means you hand over that to the spine, or you can flood it, right? So when you receive the traffic, there can be 2 status, right? You know it, you don't know it, right? If you know it, again there are 2 options, right? You know that is connected to the same leaf, or you know that is not within my leaf, right? It is remote leaf, right? Then second scenario is I don't know the MAC. I don't know the MAC. So what can I do? If I don't know the MAC, then I need to check the bridge domain settings. What is the settings that configured by the administrator? If administrators say the setting is hardware proxy, then what happen? Your traffic will be forwarded to the spine. If it see uh, the bridge domain configuration with the flooding mode, what can I do? I need to flood that traffic within the bridge domain. So those are the 4 scenarios that we are going to discuss, right? So before I go to that, are you clear with these 4 scenarios? You need to assume that you are the leaf, you connect with the spine and the endpoint. Then these are the 4 scenarios that we need to consider before the packet forwarding. Hello?
It's clear.
Okay, okay. Then this is the scenario number 1. What's the scenario number 1? Source leaf know that destination also within the same switch. Then no need to worry. It is normal forwarding within the same leaf. It's not a big deal. It's very easy scenario, right? It's very easy scenario. In that case, no need to use any VXLAN tunnel, nothing, right? No VXLAN tunnel. It is basic packet forwarding based on the MAC address, right? Then the second scenario. Second scenario is source leaf know the destination, okay. But the destination with the remote leaf. Remote leaf mean any other leaf, right? So now what happened, right? So now your leaf know I need to send that traffic to the step 2 or the leaf 2, right? So now the thing is, right? So the packet header is important, right? So this is the original packet. Green color is the original packet. For that, it's adding the VXLAN header that include mapping in between your local VLAN and the VXLAN number, right? That we called NVI, right? Right. So then what happened? It's going to add the outer header. outer header. Within the outer header, as the source IP, it's used the TEP1 IP. TEP1 IP mean what? Leaf AIP, right? Leaf A TEP IP, it's going to use as the source IP with the outer header. Then leaf 2, leaf B TEP IP, it uses as the destination IP. Then that means the traffic in between TEP1 to TEP2 going with the VXLAN, right? VXLAN. Within the VXLAN tunnel, it reached the TEP2. When it reached the TEP2, again that leaf verify what is the destination, right? Then based on that, it can forward the traffic to the local port. So in here, important thing in here, the important part is, right? If you know the destination, right, where it is connected, right? So in that case, with the outer header, the source IP is your leaf TEP number. The destination IP is remote leaf TEP number, right? That's the idea. For the source and the destination, we are using the leaf TEP IP address assigned by the DHCP. Then the next scenario, source leaf does not know the destination. Okay. If the source leaf does not know the destination, right? Then we mentioned that there are two settings that can be spine proxy or the flood, right? Let's say in this scenario that is spine proxy. Okay, I'm the leaf, right? I'm here, so I receive traffic. I don't know what is the destination MAC, right? So what I need to do, I'm checking what is my table, right? Within the table, are there any record? No record. So what I need to do? I need to hand over that IP into the spine, right? So when we are going to communicate with the spine, there are many spine, right? Which spine we are using, right? We are not using any TEP address related to the specific spine. I'm using any cast step of all the spine. That means all the group of the spine using one IP to represent their functionality. That is we called any cast step, right? Now when you go to the packet header, right, then you can see clearly the source IP should be TEP1, this IP. But destination IP, in that case, when we are having multiple spine, right, to represent all, we are using the any cast step number. So in here, the destination is any cast step, right? So that's the idea. The last option, that is what the mode called flood, right? When you receive unknown traffic, what you need to do, right? You don't know the MAC address. The option is flood. So what you need to do? You need to share that traffic with everyone within the bridge domain except the sender. These are the concept related to the packet forwarding, right? So now, one moment, I'm going to the today's session. So before that, are you clear with the packet forwarding? So you can learn lot of packet forwarding scenarios with the ACI A course. I think you are going to follow that course also, right? ACI A. Am I correct? Hello.
Beg
Your
your
pardon
pardon?
for the question?
So I think after that, are you going to follow the DCACI advanced course also?
Yes.
Yes, I
Oh
think
yeah,
that's next.
yeah. So the thing is, with that course, right? Can they will discuss more about the packet forwarding, right? There are a lot of things, platform VLAN and a lot of concept. Those concept, advanced concept, you can get idea about that with that course, right? So this is the basic packet forwarding. I think it's clear, right? Or any doubt? Do I need to explain it again? Or are you clear with that?
It's clear
No,
for me.
good.
Okay, okay, fine. Now, the next topic, right, of this course, that is uh, external connectivity, right? External connectivity, ACI, external connectivity. Right, in here we are discussing two type of connectivity. One is L2 out, other one is L3 out. L2 out and the L3 out, right? So we are having lab today for the L3 out. It's a bit complicated, it having many steps, but I will share the lab guide. First I will demo, then you can try it. So that's one of the today lab, right? So first we can discuss about the L2 out. What is this scenario? What's the meaning of L2 out, right? You need to know that. Okay. So this is kind of one domain that we discuss, right? We discuss about five connectivity option. One is physical connectivity, then second one is vCenter connectivity, then third one L2 out. That means you are connecting external switch, you are connecting router, that is L3 out, and the fiber channel, right? So let's say now this is my spine and leaf 101 and leaf 102. Those are connected like this, right? So in here for the leaf 101, I'm connecting port number 12, I am connecting N.1. That's totally fine. Okay. So the second thing, the next thing, leaf 102 connect with traditional switch. Let's say 2960, catalyst 2960. So you know catalyst 2960 not running ACI operating system. It's running the traditional Cisco iOS. It's running the iOS, right? Now the thing is, right, this 2960 switch connect with one server. Let's say server 1, two physical servers, right? And server 2, right? So now you know ACI fabric mean this red color part, spine, leaf, and the epic, right? With the epic, I can apply policies for this interface, right? This interface, I can apply policy for the leaf and the spine. It is manageable. It is manageable, right? But now we need to think, right? Sometimes we need to connect like this. We have the traditional network, then we have the ACI network, then we need to connect our traditional network with the ACI fabric. So my problem is now I have issue. Okay, the issue mean it's saying, okay, how this endpoint, right, going to connect with ACI, right? My question is, okay, how we connect these endpoint to the ACI fabric, right? Then solution come with the option called layer 2 out. Layer 2 out. There is a configuration called layer 2 out. Right? So then when you go to the L2 out, right? So when you go to the L2 out, again there are two options, right? How we extend the layer 2 out. The option number 1, right? Extend EPG. I have EPG, I can extend that EPG. The scenario is like this, let's say. This is my spine that is connected with the leaf and another leaf, right? So leaf 101 connected with the endpoint 1 with the port number 12. Then leaf 102 connect with the 2960 switch, and 2960 switch connect with virtual machine, right? So what I need to do, I need to add this endpoint 1 and this virtual machine into the same EPG1, right? So I'm putting the device that I'm putting the server that connect with the 2960 and my endpoint 1 within the same EPG. So then this part we call L2 out configuration part in between leaf and the 2960, right? So this configuration we called static path binding. Static path binding, right? So when you do that, right, the configuration are same. Config are same, right? That means how you attach endpoint into the endpoint group. Everything is same. Everything is same. Configs are same. But the thing is, so in this case, there is a limitation, right? Totally same configuration, but there is a limitation. So what's the limitation is we cannot apply policy in between these two hosts, right? The limitation is we cannot apply policy between external endpoint and endpoint 1. So in between these two, we cannot apply policy because those are within the same EPG, right? The reason is we configure both within the same EPG, right? Now, the second solution, right? What is the second solution? The second solution we called, right? That is layer 2 extension. That is we call layer 2 extension, right? So in here there is a limitation. We cannot apply policy between that external endpoint and your endpoint. But in here the major advantage, right? Can apply policy between ACI and the legacy application. Legacy app. So legacy app running on the VM, right? We can apply policy. right? But in here, when you go to that mode, the point is need to create another EPG for the external device, right? So in here, the idea is we are using the layer 2 extension. In that case, what we need to do, we need to create another EPG to connect with that VM, right? To external device, right? Then, okay, now in this scenario, my endpoint 1 within the EPG 1, right? VM with another EPG, right? That means the external EPG. So the point is, what we need contract, right? We need contract to enable the communication in between these two, right? To enable the communication in between these two, right? So we'll draw some diagram for that. Let's say layer 2 extension. Let's say leaf 101 physically connect with the BMH, bare metal host, physical server with the port number 12, right? Then this is the leaf 102 that connect with N5K, Nexus 5K device. So then Nexus 5K device connect with another bare metal host, right? So now what I need to do, right? In this scenario, right? In this scenario, we can put bare metal host that directly connected to the leaf 101 into the EPG1, right? But you need to add another external EPG, let's say EPG external, right? You need to add another external EPG and need to add this bare metal host, right? Finally, right, to communicate in between this, we need to have contract, right? That is the layer 2 extension. But with the previous diagram, you can clearly see same scenario. In that case, we are putting both into the same EPG that we called EPG extension. EPG extension. In that case, no need any additional configuration, only the same way. We can attach that VM into the same EPG. But in this way, for the external EPG, the external device, we are using another endpoint group. So in between two endpoint group, we need to have the contract, right? We need to have the contract, right? So now, so these are the things, right, that you need to remember. The next topic, that is L3 out, right? That is again very important topic because this is the way how we add the internet line into the ACI fabric. That is L3 out. L3 out. The first thing you need to know, what's the meaning of the layer 3 out? Okay. Spine. Leaf 101. leaf 102, right? So let's say leaf 101, port number 12, connect with router, right? So that router having many network 1, network 2, like that. Okay. At the same time, leaf 102, port number 12, connect with endpoint. Let's say endpoint 2, right? Let's assume that endpoint 2 IP address is 20.0.0.1, 20.0.0.1, right? So my router connected with the network, let's say 100.0.0.1, 24, and network 2 is 99.0.0.0.24, right? Network 1 and 2, 199. But this 199 network connected to the router R1, right? R1 connected with the leaf 101. So within my fabric, I have endpoint that is directly connected with the leaf 2. That IP is 20.0.0.1, right? So now the scenario is, right, my endpoint 2 need to, right, need to communicate with 100.0.0.0/24 network, right? That means simply endpoint 2 need to communicate with the network 1 within the router, whatever the IP, right? So that is another requirement. Let's say that router providing the internet service, then to 20.0.0.1 need to access the internet, like that. There are scenarios, right? So in here, remember what should be happen, right? Let's say if the 20.0.0.1 need to communicate with the 100.0.0.1 IP, the basic idea is within the leaf 102 routing table, there should be a record for the need record for 100.0.0.0 network. Am I correct or wrong? If the endpoint 2 need to communicate with the 100.0.0 network, then definitely leaf 102 routing table should have this record. Correct or wrong?
That's
Think
correct.
about the normal routing. It's needed, right?
Yes.
That means this 199, no, whatever the network should be available with the leaf 101 and the 102. That's idea. Right? So the thing is, in here, what we need to do? We need to enable routing. We need to enable routing in between leaf 101 and the router 1, right? So the idea is, now I am drawing it like this: leaf 101 and the router 1. So router 1 connected with many network 1, network 2, network 3, like that. So the idea is, if the leaf 101 need to learn about the network 1, 2, 3, then we need to enable routing in between these two, right? For that we can use the protocol. What are the possible protocol? OSPF,
OSPF,
BGP,
ISPF.
static, right? We cannot use the RIP, right? No RIP usage, right? Only the OSPF, BGP, and the static route. These are the options available, right? So what I need to do, simply I need to enable OSPF with the leaf 101. Then this leaf 101 need route ID, OSPF route ID, right? Then in here another thing, connection between leaf and the router, the connectivity in between leaf and router, that can be layer 3 connectivity, right? Layer 3 connectivity mean for this interface we can assign IP, let's say 20.0.0.2. For this interface IP 20.0.0.1, like that, layer 3 connectivity. Or else we can use the SVI interface with the trunk mode, right? We can use whatever the method, right? So then this configuration we called L3 out configuration. This configuration we called L3 out configuration, L3 out configuration, right? So in here, another very important thing, right? Another very important thing. Okay. So first, the route about the N1 and the N2 learned by the leaf 101, right? After this configuration, when I run the command show IP route, that should include the N1 and the N2, network 1 and the network 2, that means 99 and the 100, right? Then this leaf should share that information with the spine, right? Then spine should share that information with all other leaf, right? For that we are using feature called, right, BGP route reflector, right? So that feature need to enable with the spine, one spine, right? So what's the feature of the BGP route reflector mean? That we call simply RR feature, right? So when the leaf learn this information, that share that information with the spine, right? So that spine should responsible to share this network 1 and 2 information to all other leaf, right? This is how leaf 102 got to know about network 1 and 2 using the BGP route reflector configuration. So for this practical, we need to do a lot of configuration, right? One of the spine you need to configure as the BGP route reflector, right? That is one thing. Then we need to enable routing, OSPF routing with the leaf 101. Then we need to enable OSPF with my router, right? Then the thing is, with this way, without any issues, network 1 and 2 information coming to the leaf 102. That is fine. It's a kind of routing configuration, right? My next point, this 20.0.0.1 network. So this 20.0.0.0 network, now that information also should be propagated to the router 1. Is it clear? The thing is, this endpoint network is 20.0.0.1, right? 20.0.0.0. So this network should again available with the router 1. Otherwise, let's say when the 100.0.0.1 need to communicate with the 20.0.0.1, that information not available with the routing table, right? The simple idea, this information should available with this routing table, right? For that, there is a configuration within the ACI fabric. For that, we are not using the route reflector technology, right? For that, there is another configuration with the L3 out, right? We need to do that with the bridge domain level. That is we called within the bridge domain, right? Under the subnet 20.0.0.0, we need to select the option advertise externally, right? If you select this option, only this network information going to the external router, right? Let's say within your fabric, there is another host connected called endpoint 3. That network is 10.0.0.0, right? So this information not going to the router because I enable that option only with this subnet. If you enable that information with this subnet, then that also going to the router 1, right? So these are the things. These are the things, right? Are you clear with the concept? What is L3 out? This is needed to connect with the traditional network, right? To communicate with the traditional network, or else let's say to access the internet. Any
That's
doubt
okay.
here? Okay. So in here, another point I missed that is the border leaf concept, right? One of the leaf the external network, layer 3 network, we call border leaf, right? So in this case, who is the border leaf? Who is border leaf in this case? Leaf 101 or leaf 102?
Lift
Simple
101.
question. Yeah, because that is connected with the external network, right? The that is we call BL, border leaf, right? So we need to do configuration for this configuration for the border leaf, right? So the thing is happen when router 1 share the information with the border leaf, then border leaf share that information with the spine, then spine use route reflector technology to distribute that information with all other nodes, right? Then what we need to do, we need to share our information, our subnet information to the router. For that we are using advertise externally option, right? So in here, BGP route reflector only distribute the external route, right? It's not distribute the bridge domain
Nicholas,
information.
first mute your mic.
Hello? Okay. So that's the way how we set up, how we are going to set up the L3 out, right? So I will give a demonstration for this, then you can try yourself, right? So one moment. Before that, I need to get this into the default option. this one. Okay. Then I will show what I'm going to implement. So this scenario. So this is the scenario that I'm going to implement with you. So I will share this to the chat. This is my diagram, right? This is my diagram. So if I explain the diagram in here, so I have spine 201. I need to configure that as the BGP route reflector. Then I have to leaf 101 and leaf 102, right? Leaf 101 connected with the Cisco router. Let's say there is R1. That IP is 20001, right? Then that is connected with the port number 12. At the same time, leaf 102 port number 12 connect with the endpoint. Let's say that IP is 55001, right? So within the R1, I need to create loopback called 100,001, right? Then I need to enable the OSPF with the router. Then in that case, the route ID is 1.1.1.1. Then with the leaf 101, I can use the route ID 2.2.2.2, like that. We need to do some configuration. Then after everything, to enable the communication in between these two, right? So loopback 2 is one network, external network. And if I need to enable communication in between this network and this EPG, we need to have the contract, right? The thing is, all of these component, all of this network under external EPG, right? External EPG. Under the external EPG, you can see all the network within the router. Then we have internal EPG called EPG1. Actually, there are no word called internal and external, right? We are saying external EPG for the L3 out devices, right? But normally for all other EPG, we called EPG, not the internal. So we have the EPG1. Within the EPG1, we have the endpoint 1. That IP is this one. So endpoint EPG1 and the external EPG, we need to communicate. For that, I am using filter with the ICMP. So these are the things that I am going to demonstrate with you. One moment. For before that, so give me a 15-minute break. After that I will start, because that having lot of configuration. We'll connect after 15 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Plan.
Yes.
Is it possible to share also the whiteboard
Yeah, definitely.
notes?
See, all the whiteboard notes that I created available here, right? Day by day content.
Okay.
So I will share these things. I can export as the PDF, then I will share everything. No problem.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Then we'll connect after 40. We enable the OSPF with the leaf, right? So I mention in here, right? To add this network, we need to have separate EPG. That is, we called external EPG. See, external EPG. Now I'm going to create that external EPG configuration. External EPG configuration. Next step, right? External EPG. then let's say we can say that is external EPG. The name is external EPG. No need to define anything, right? Okay. In here, I need to add subnet. I missed one step, right? I will do it again. I'm going to add this external EPG, right? This is important, right? So I need to add subnet, right? I'm saying any network, any subnet, right? External subnet for external EPG, right? No summary policy. Okay. So what's the meaning of that? The meaning of that, right? So in here, that means after the router 1, there can be many network, right? All zero mean take all, any network, any subnet within the router, take all with the OSPF, right? So that means all the network within the router considered as the part of the external EPG, right? So, okay. Then finish, right? So now you can see OSPF L3 out is created, right? These are my configuration that I did, right? The interface profile. This is the interface profile selection, and not select any authentication. This is my routed interface that I created, and interface profile. In somewhere we can see the route. Where it is. I think. One moment. Anyway, let's check with the router. And here also we can see the route. I cannot remember what's the exact point. So I'm going to the router 1. Show IP OSPF neighbor still not there. But neighbor relationship should be up now. One moment, please. This is the issue. Still that is out of service. What is the missing step? One moment. SPF1 is correct. It's the issue with the access policy. So after this step, what should happen? They should start the neighbor relationship. I'm checking what's the issue with my configuration. Show IP OSPF interfaces. Sam and the Lodwin, I shared the document with you. You can start yourself, start the configuration. Nick, give me some time sir, because I'm using your endpoint, right? I need to troubleshoot this scenario, right? Sam and the Lodwin, you can follow the guideline and set up your configuration, right? I need to check what is the issue. Okay. Yes? Yeah. So what you need, Nick? Can you come again? Right. Okay. Yeah, I will do. Okay, no problem. Anyway, we'll start from the beginning. Then I can find what's the issue with my tenant also. Okay, that's good. One moment. It's not taking a lot of time. We'll see. I think. So you need the L3 out configuration or the from the beginning? Nick, you need from the beginning everything or the only the L3 out configuration? Hello? Anyway, I will do from beginning, no problem. Okay. So now again I'm doing the same config, right? So let's start with the fabric settings. I'm creating access policy. In that case, the first thing is the pool, VLAN pool. I can give the pool 1 or whatever the name. Let's say in here external. So no, I'm using pool 1. That's common for anything. Static allocation 1 to 200. 100 is enough for me. Okay. Then I'm creating 2 physical domain, one for the endpoint. That is physical domain 1. So the VLAN pool is pool 1. Let's say I'm here I'm creating AAEP. Let's say AAEP. Wait. Without AAP, I'm creating, later I will add the AAP, right? So I add the pool with the normal configuration. At the same time, I'm creating the policies, global policy AAEP. Actually, in here, I'm having 2 AAEP. I'm going to delete both. Let's say that is AAEP1, right? So I need to add the VLAN pool, sorry, domain, physical domain 1, update, next, finish. Just create the AAEP only without anything, AAP1. Yeah, that allow. Then let's say, go to the physical domain. I recreate it. VLAN pool 1. Submit. At the same time, I'm creating another layer 3 external routed domain. External routed domain mean L3 out domain. So this is L3 out domain 1. Same AEP, same VLAN pool. Submit. Then I need to create a policy group, right? Policy interface, interface, leaf, policy group, leaf access port, create. L3 out IPG1. Then I create the CDP policy, CDP on, and attach it. The only thing is I'm adding the default LLDP policy, right? Otherwise, what you can do is create LLDP policy, LLDP on, like that. I can attach that. Then I need to attach the AAEP one in here. Submit. Right, that's fine. That's a policy group. Policy group, okay. VLAN pool domain is okay. Now I need to create the interface profile. So in here, let's say interface profile 1. In here I can select the interface, that is port 12. So 1/12 is the port. For that, L3 out IPG1. So these are the normal steps. Then I'm going to the switches, leaf switches, right? Profile, right? Leaf, one zero one, leaf 101. Leaf 102. Select the 102. Update. Next. It is attached with the interface profile 1. Fine. Now, what can I do is I can go to the tenant. Under the tenant, first I need to create the, under the networking, I need to create tenant T1. Submit. Under the T1, I am creating VRF. VRF1, right? Next. BD bridge domain 1. Finish. Application profile. Create application profile. AP1, right? Submit. Under that, I can create the application EPG. Bold. EPG1. EPG1 that is connected with the BD1. Finish. Now I'm going to attach the domain, the physical domain. Yeah, not the VMM domain, that is physical domain association. Physical domain 1. Submit. then static port, or we can select deploy static EPG that is available on the node 2. The port number is 12. VLAN is, let's say, 1, whatever the VLAN. Access untag, submit. Now I need to create, under the bridge domain, I need to create subnet. Create subnet. That should be 55.0.0.254/24. In here, I'm selecting advertise externally. Otherwise, later also I can select that. Right. So this is the subnet information. Now, when I go to my endpoint R2, I should be able to ping the gateway. Yeah, it is pinging, right? That means that policy successfully applied for the leaf 2 interface, right? So Nick, I completed this part, right? This integration is done. Endpoint 1 attached to the EPG1. That part is configured, right? Right. So now I'm checking 192.168.10.75 admin KSPLDC at 1234. Sorry, I need to connect with 70, not the 75. So this should be out of service because we not integrate the external EPG. That's why. Yeah, that is out of service. It's fine for now, right? So now I'm going to the L3 out configuration. L3 out configuration. So these are the basic configuration that I did up to now. So when I go to the L3 out configuration, before that, right, when I go to the this router, if I run the command show IP OSPF neighbors, right, no neighbors, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to enable OSPF for the leaf 101 because OSPF already enabled with the R1, right? Now I'm going to enable OSPF with the leaf 101 with the GUI way. So that's the task. So for that, I need to go to the L3 out under the tenant, right? Under the tenant, networking, L3 out configuration. L3 out with this firmware, it's showing like external routed network. That is the L3 out mean, right? Currently no configuration. Create routed outside, right? Let's say L3 out OSPF. In here, no configuration, all the same settings. I'm selecting the OSPF. Area ID should be 0, right? That should be regular area. Okay. What's the mistake that I done previously? I not selected VRF here, right? That's a mistake. Sorry for that. Otherwise, everything I did properly. So this is the mistake that I did. I need to provide the VRF, not only VRF, right? I need to provide the external routed domain, right? So in here, this is the domain that I created. Now I think L3 out domain 1, L3 out domain 1. Right? I not mentioned that also with the previous step. L3 out domain. Anyway, one moment. Better to verify what is the domain name properly. Under the fabric, under the domain, there are two. What is the correct one? AEP1 or this one? That is not attached with the. Okay, I will delete this one. Otherwise, that can be another issue. Yes. I think. Okay, L3 out domain 1. That's the domain, right? Because I had a previously created domain also. Okay, I'm going to the tenant again. Networking. Create routed outside, right? Remember, you need to provide the VRF. You need to provide the external domain, right? Then you select OSPF, right? Change that into the area 0, regular area, right? So these are the settings, proper settings that I need to use, right? With this section. It's within the lab guide, but I miss it. Sorry for that. Now I need to add node, right? The node mean in here, let's say I need to give the name, right? Let's say my name is leaf101 is my node that I'm going to enable the, let's say in my diagram, there are two routers, two leaf, right? In here, I'm selecting which leaf I am going to enable the OSPF, right? I need to enable the OSPF with the leaf 101. So I'm selecting it, right? What is my node, right? Node is 101. Then for that, I need to assign route ID 2.2.2.2, right? That's the route ID. No static route, that's fine, right? Then I need to say in this diagram, I select I am going to enable OSPF for the leaf 101. Then 2.2.2.2 is the route ID. Which interface I am going to enable OSPF? That is interface number 12. Okay. In here, I need to add that interface number 12, right? Then OSPF interface profile, right? Then with this screen, no need to select anything. Default value. In here also no configuration because I'm using default settings, no authentication, right? In here I need to specify, right? Okay. So how my leaf and router connected, whether it is using the IP or whether it is using the SVI interface, whether it is using the routed sub interface, right? So I'm connecting with the 2 IP address, physical 2 IP address. So I'm selecting routed interface, right? Then I need to mention, okay, node 101. So in here you need to careful. The port number is 12. That IP should be 20.0.0.2/24 because 20.0.0.1 IP used by the router. So simply what I'm doing, I am assigning IP address for the interface number 12 here, right? Interface 12, this should be the IP within the node 101, right? That's the configuration. And I'm specifying MTU. Better to change that into the 1500. Then okay. So that part is over. Okay. Okay. Now it's saying with the next step, it's saying you need to create external EPG for this network, external EPG. Okay. In here, I need to add the external EPG name, external EPG. Let's say external EPG 1, right? Then in here, you need to define the subnet. What are the routes within that? Any route from the router, take any route, right? Then you need to select external subnet for the external EPG option, right? No summarization. Okay. So these all are related to the routing. Finish. Now it is fine, right? Now it is fine. See, when you go to the OSPF, it's showing the OSPF status now. It's saying OSPF enable with these two interface, right? Interface 12. Then when you go to the routing, it say currently I am having 20.0.0.0 network and 2.2.2.2 network, right? So now when I go to the my router, right? So when I run the command show IP OSPF neighbor, now neighbor relationship is there. Is it clear? The mistake that I done with very first screen, I not select the VRF and the domain. That's a mistake. Now, so what happened? In between the router 1 and leaf 101 OSPF working properly. They exchange their route. That means this router sending that OSPF route into the leaf 101, right? Are you clear up to now? Hello. Hello. Okay. Okay. So now neighbor relationship is fine, but when I run the command show IP route OSPF, right? Now it's learned there is a network called 2.2.2.2. That's the only thing up to now, right? Nothing is learned other than that, right? Because the relationship up in between in between route and the leaf 101, right? So now when I go to the leaf 101, if I run the command show IP OSPF, show IP OSPF neighbors. See, this is the neighbors show IP OSPF neighbors. Neighbors detail. Oh, that command not working. Okay. Show IP OSPF. We can run route. Why that is not working? route VRF sorry VRF all. Now it's showing, right? So now this is my leaf, right? This is my leaf, right? Now with the router, I have two network, 100 network and the 20001 network, right? So now those information should be available with the leaf 101. See, 100 network there, 20 network, right? Now what we need to do now, right? This leaf 101 report this information to the spine. Then spine should be updated that information to the leaf 102 using the route reflector, right? For that we are using the BGP route reflector technology. In that case, right? So I need to go to the system. Now OSPF working properly, right? System settings. In here, there is a BGP RR policy, right? BGP RR policy say the RR policy running within the 201 spine 201, right? Then this is the AS number. Okay, no need to do any modification for that. That is enough. That's the default policy. We can use it. Then when you are going to the fabric, right? I'm going to the fabric policy, right? This is not the access policy, fabric policy. Under the port, under the policy group, there is a default policy group called pod PG, right? Under that, what I need to do, I need to select the what is the route reflector policy, right? So BGP route reflector policy is the default one. Because I'm not did any modification, BGP route reflector policy is there. So now I am attaching that policy into the pod policy group, right? Then submit, right? That means you need to select the default one, submit changes, BGP route reflector policy default, right? Then you can verify the profile, right? Policy profile. The profile referring the default one. This is the name. Fabric policy group is pod PG. Pod PG is this one. This one referring the route reflector policy default, right? So no need to worry. Everything is fine. RR is working now. Now, since it work with the route reflector policy, now I am logging with the leaf 102, 192.168.10.71. That means the leaf 102, right? Admin. Okay. KSPLDC at 1234. So running the same command, but I run with the 70. Show IP OSPF route VRF all. Show IP OSPF route VRF all. Still not updated. But after some time, that should be within the leaf 102. Right? That should be within the leaf 102. So I'm going to do other configuration. We can check it later. Now it's there. See? No. This is one, right? It should be. can run route only. VRF all. Okay, it's there, right? It's not enabled with the OSPF, right? So now this is the leaf that having the neighbor relation with the relationship with the R1 with the OSPF, right? Then it learn this network available with the router one, right? Then that reported to the spine, then spine share that information with the leaf 102. This is the leaf 102. When you go to the leaf 102, it's saying, okay, I know the network called 100.0.0.1. See, it's there because 100.0.0.1 is one of the loopback within the R1, right? So now I'm going to the R1, right? So when I run the command show IP route OSPF, still I am not learned anything about the 55 network, right? So I need to do some modification for that. Because now my purpose is I need to advertise this network 55001, sorry, 55000 network. I need to advertise with the R1 external network, right? For that I need to go to the access policy, then access policy, sorry, tenant networking. I need to go to the bridge domain settings first. I think I previously did that anyway. We'll show it again. So with the bridge domain, I need to select the subnet. So you need to select this option, advertise externally. Otherwise, this network available within the VRF, advertise externally. We are saying advertise that externally. Not only that, within the bridge domain, we need to do some other configuration. Under the bridge domain, when you go to the policy and the L3 configuration, so associated L3 out with this bridge domain, right? Nothing. So what I need to do, go to add, and I need to provide the name. What is my name? OSPF L3 out. OSPF L3 out. That's the L3 out profile that I created. Update. Right? Now everything is fine. Right? Now everything is fine. Now what I need to do, I need to create the contract. Right? Before that, we can verify with the R1. My router. Okay, we'll see. Now I am creating contract. Create contract. CT1 C1. Sorry, my it is up to the tenant level, and I'm adding subject. Let's say subject 1, whatever the name you can use, no problem. And I need to add some filter. I'm going to add only basic filter, that is ICMP default one. The action is permit. Okay, submit. Now I need to go to the my application profile AP1 EPG. I'm assigning that as the provided contract for that. Submit. And I need to apply consumer contract for the L3 out, right? So under the networking section, external routed network. Then in here, L3 out. Under that, under the network. This is the external EPG. So you know, we apply contract in between the EPG, right? We apply provided contract with the EPG1. Now I am applying consumer contract with the external EPG. So this is the external EPG that I created, right? Then click that. From this side, you can see the option called contract. For this, there is an option called contract, right? So I'm applying it as the consumed contract. See this one, update, right? Now I'm going again to verify my R1 routing table. See, can you see now different? Now I can see the 55 network. 55 network. So this is my endpoint, right? 76. This is my endpoint, right? So this endpoint IP address is that is 55001, right? So within the router there is a remote network called so within the router there is a loopback interface called 100.0.0.1. Then I try ping 100.0.0.1. That is success, right? That is success. Now our job is over. Now the thing is, right, this endpoint can ping to the external network. This is the way how we access the external world using the ACI fabric. So that having many steps, I know, right? But only thing you need to be very familiar. That means you can try many times, then you will practice it, right? So in my case, like that, don't do very quickly. In that case, you will miss some steps, right? Because of the small step mistaken, everything not going to work properly, right? So are you clear with the concept? This is the way how we add the external entity to the our ACI fabric, how we enable the communication with the ACI endpoint and the traditional network. This is the way. Any doubt? Anything? Before we go to the lunch break? Hello?
All good on my side. I was going to get like a lab guide that we will use. So
Yeah. I wish. What about Sam?
I'm okay.
Okay. Nick, are you okay, right? Or any doubt? Okay. Okay. So we'll have a lunch break. After that, we can start the lab. I will reset the lab again, right? So after 1 hour, I will.
Right.
Okay. Okay. We'll connect after 1 hour.
Okay.